Hello, I'm Dennis Weimer. I will be going over Chapter 3 of How to Look on an Oil Painting from How to Use Your Eyes by James Elkins. The whole chapter deals with a new way of looking at paintings you may not have thought of before. Mostly in that instead of looking at the compositional factors, how with the story, the narrative happening, paintings, the painting itself physically has a story with the craquelure in it. Hopefully I pronounced that right. And it made me, it really interests me reading this because I never stopped to actually look at the physical makeup of the painting. I'm so interested in the actual skill of it. But so basically what has taken place in this chapter is a gentleman named Spike Bucklow, a Cambridge fellow. He did a study on the craquelure in old oil paintings. He basically comes up with these questions. How do the cracks have a predominant direction? The texture, is it smooth or jagged? The shape of the islands in between the paint, are they square? Are they another shape? Are these islands small? Is it thick, or some thicker, or some really thin? The junctions between the cracks, is it a connected network? Are these islands, isolated from each other, or is there an order or a randomness to this network? And that all has to do with the materials that were used, the kind of, over time, pressure builds, pressure from either warping or pressure from being pulled apart over time. Weather, minor weather factors are involved, but you can find out a lot about how it was made, how the painting was constructed through these cracks. I found that to be extremely fascinating to me, because when the chapter opens up by Elkins saying, "Stoop down so you'll catch the glare of the lights and look up at the pictures." I'd never ever, thousands of paintings I know I've looked at, I know you've looked at, I never stopped to consider looking down underneath and finding the cracks in the glare. And he even ends the chapter, and gave me a chuckle. It says, "It may seem perverse to go to an art museum just to look at the cracks in the paintings, but the paintings are very complicated objects. It's like it's something we've never have, something that's plainly in front of your face that we never stopped to think about or consider before." And he said even people in my field, it tends to be overwhelmed. They don't think of these things. We don't think of the frame, the dust, the varnish, and the cracks. I always looked at the cracks and thought, oh gosh, what a shame. What a shame that would be to watch this painting deteriorate and, in front of our eyes. I hope we have this for future generations. And what I found fascinating is I never stopped to consider the craquelures tell the story of how it was made. And see, that was fascinating to me. And I know a lot of people are talking about have talked about this chapter and selected this chapter probably because we all look at paintings. It's just what we do. And and we're told all the time to have new perspectives on how we look at art, and never stop to consider the cracks in the painting. I always thought it was a shame. So thank you very much, and hope you have a great day.